practice tables yesterday getting ready for this as Thepchaiya shows off those scary new shoes.
Different, aren't they? Hedgehog vibes.
Well,
not as sharp as that though, Phil.
You know, a couple of years ago, Martin Gould started the World Championship 60th in the world rankings with the possibility of dropping off. That seemed unthinkable. And at times last season, the relegation threat hung over the head of Thepchaiya.U. Again, unthinkable.
Yeah, and it just shows the game today. I was just saying before with Dave how the strength and depth is just mind-blowing now. Consistency is one thing, obviously, but the capabilities of a lot of the players on tour now is just so good that you've got players like Teppy, you know, falling into that possibility where he could have been off the tour. Obviously, other good players from over the years, like Sir Michael Holt, have dropped off, you know, and it's just so tough now. You've got to be consistently playing well, otherwise you can be in danger. But as you'll see today, by the looks of things, just how good a player Thepchaiya is. It's kind of unthinkable that he might not have even been on the tour this season. Started off sharp here though, the great long red. Looks to have got the pace of the
12.
table quite quickly. Coming down there off the green for the red.
30.
Just as I put the curse on him, he's left himself a bit awkward on the black to get into the reds. He's going to have to really power this one in. And it's not too bad if that one doesn't go past the red and pink to the
20.
yellow pocket, which he's looking at now. He's still got the one on the right hand side.
Thepchaiya.U. 20.
Wasn't easy.
Well, that wasn't just a miss, that was a wholesale miscalculation, misjudgment.
Yeah, one of them shots where you're sort of putting a little bit of left-hand side on to help it round, and Marco's obviously, as we've said, not too used to playing in tournaments lately and getting used to these very slippery conditions on a brand new cloth. Straight away there, that could have just been one where the white's pushed over a little bit more than he was expecting, and it can make you look silly sometimes. But either way, it's let Thepchaiya straight back in, and he's got a nice chance now.
8.
He'd be disappointed if he doesn't get very close to winning the frame from here.
9.
Purposely leave himself nice and low on the black. If he wants to be a bit more aggressive and not just play for the single reds, he'll be straight into the pack with that red on the right there to go at as insurance.
60.
You wouldn't see the likes of Teppy play for single reds and just dilly-dally around them. If that sort of shot's on, he'll always get into them, open the frame up and try and win the frame straight away in one visit.
70.
He doesn't hang about neither. Sees the game very quickly, sees the shot very quickly.
$24. 25.
Absolutely tailor-made Thepchaiya.U. to win the shootout, which he did in 2019. If you're unfamiliar with that tournament, it's all 10-minute matches.
32.
First 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Second 5 minutes, 10
33.
seconds. Now for most players, especially the 10 seconds, that's a real hindrance, a real handicap. For him, Hardly so.
40.
Yeah, just like another day's practice for Thepchaiya. It can only be a bit of a hindrance sometimes when you're a bit awkward,
41.
but if your positional play is good, like it is at the moment in this break, I mean, you know the shot straight away. You can just get down and play it. It's as you say, it's totally suited to his game. A tournament we all look forward to now, but obviously players like Thepchaiya are going to look forward to it that little bit more, thinking they've got a
48.
great chance of winning it every year.
49.
And look at this. Frame already in the books. This is what he does.
56. 57.
Lovely little cannon there. Frame one, obviously, so he just took the opportunity to slide off the reds, open them up and get on the black at the same time.
It's alright, go on, thanks.
The table will really suit him. It's very conducive to floating the ball around, and I personally believe he could prosper here.
Yeah, he's got a lovely smooth cue action, Thepchaiya, being as quick as he is as well. He sort of looks so good on the shot. He doesn't look that quick, if you know what I mean. He's not like a Tony Drago, where he was... Tony, you could almost imagine him running around the table and getting down and kind of... I wouldn't say a jabby player, but more on instinct. Not so much of a technique there, whereas Thepchaiya, he's got a lovely flow and cue action as well, and although he's quick,
70.
he's a bit like Ronnie in that regard, where he doesn't look as quick as he is.
71.
Rob Spencer, the referee, has the traditional
77.
black leather shoes on today. When you're refereeing for
78.
un-nooh, a pair of trainers might be advisable.
Yeah, and it's already warm enough in there. He's going to be quite warm after this.
$84. Thank you. 85.
Marco Fu missed that middle distance red. Grossly thick. un-nooh is now 3 balls
90.
away from a century.
Yeah, and that's it
93.
in this format, such a short format. As we say, it's 4 frames, and you kind of know that in your head. If you make one mistake, the match isn't obviously over or anything, but you're putting yourself under pressure
96.
straight away.
100.
He's actually so good, he's infuriating Thepchaiya un-nooh, because when you see him play like this,
105.
a little bit like Jack Lazowski, you think, surely he's going to win big tournaments.
Yeah, it seems as when he can get into this relaxed zone,
111.
he's at his best. And obviously when the pressure comes on a bit, and like everybody, and you're playing in big occasions, it's not as easy. But yeah, how easy was that?
118.
It
Same for
was
me, really. Not
preposterously
loads, but
easy.
the last couple of weeks, just been getting back into it again. As I said before, there'll be a few players sort of practicing a few weeks beforehand. Some will not be doing it hardly at all. Any difference can come into it as well. On that massive, it's every frame, every ball sort of matters, and it can make it quite a tough format at times.
And although he was in with an easy opener there, this is not a simple chance for Fu, because the 2 highest value colours are both out of the reckoning.
Yeah, it'll be tough to score many from here. He's not got too much of an angle on the green, so it'll be a good positional shot to get onto one of these reds. Yeah, just a little bit too much to ask there, I think.
4.
So a tough start for Marco. As I go around the time, he'd really picked up the pace. I mean, he's not a slow player anyway, Marco, but he'd really picked up the pace against me. I mean, he was almost at Thepchaiya's kind of speed, believe it or not. And I did ask him after the game, like, just curious as to why you were playing so quick. And he'd said at the time that he couldn't really see. So he was just playing a lot more on instinct if he could. But yeah, hopefully all them troubles are behind him. Because it would be great to see a player of Marco's class back playing the way we know he can.
Seven.
Nice little chance of a cannon at the reds. He's got the red on the left and the red to the right of the black. Shows there not to be as aggressive. Didn't have to play them hard, but he could have still went into them there and been on one of the two reds. He's going to leave that now for a few shots.
50.
Danger being, obviously, if you keep taking away the single reds, you're leaving yourself less opportunity when you do go into the reds to land on one. But he has got the red to the right of the pink. And another couple of open reds.
22.
And if he's got the angle here, he can flick one or two out.
23.
Deciding on the black here, he'll be looking to play the red to the left of the black. And then surely leave the angle on the black to go into the reds.
30.
Everyone break builds different ways, and I know a lot of people go on about certain players who go into the reds at every given opportunity and some pick them off. It's not always as clear cut as that. Sometimes you'll even find players who you think play very aggressively, 38. Like Thepchaiya does, do what he did there and sometimes pick one or two off first and then go into them. It just all depends on the situation, really. And that just comes with experience and practice. Oh, it's not worked out from there.
38.
Was a little more tricky than it might have appeared.
And this shot's very similar to what Marco messed up before. And he's kind of done the same again. He's caught it thick, so I think he's maybe just not quite used to the slippiness of the cloth and it pushing slightly when he's putting a bit of left hand side on the cue ball. And these are things when you've not been playing, as I say, in tournaments very often, that take a little bit of getting back used to again.
I'll tell you what Thepchaiya.U didn't get used to when he recently made his international 9-ball pool debut, partnering Noppon Sangkam. Thailand came into the World Cup down at Brentwood in Essex as late replacements for the Philippines. Sadly, Efren Reyes could not get a visa and wasn't able to attend. And we all thought, given the quality of Noppon Sangkam and Thepchaiya.U on a snooker table, they might do something in the World Cup. Not so. They lost in the first round to Jason Theron and Kyle Akalu from South Africa. And quite frankly, they looked like a couple of fishes out of water.
Yeah, I actually watched a little bit of that on the highlights, and to be honest, it made me feel a lot better about my campaign in the UK Open. They played quite poorly, and people who don't realise the difference, obviously the conditions are so different, the cloths are so slippy. If you think snooker table match cloths are slippy and reactive, I mean, it's another level in the pool, in the 9-ball, and getting used to the cue and the balls, the size difference and weight difference of the balls and things. It's all things you've got to get used to if you're going to play at any kind of high level.
What?
So although it made them look a bit stupid, I can totally understand why they've struggled. But as I say, I'm sure if any of us had like a good go at it and had a few weeks to a month's practice and played with, you know, the right cues and and all that kind of stuff, then it is a game where I think any snooker player doing that could actually have a good run and put up a good performance. So it would be nice if we can get the snooker players involved in the 9-ball pool again.
Yeah, because Emily Fraser and the team at Matchroom Multisport are doing such a wonderful job in promoting 9-ball and taking it to new heights. And so having some of the snooker guys there and making their presence felt would be terrific. Of course, we had Judd Trump at the US Open last year in Atlantic City.
14.
And it was amazing the reaction of the spectators and his fellow players when Judd turned up. It was wonderful to see.
Yeah, it just gets the hype around Q sports in general, doesn't it? So that's what snooker needs, pool needs, all of it. You know, it's we can work together in some ways and get that. Then
20.
It's absolutely brilliant for pool and snooker. Mark goes in a decent position, yeah, where he's got another couple of loose reds. But he's going to need to move them 2 reds behind the black to have a chance of winning the frame. So
26.
we'll be looking just to pop this pink red next to the black and leave an angle on the black to cannon them 2 reds. And this is where some people ask, you know, how many shots ahead do you think? And in that situation there, yeah, you're thinking 3 or 4 shots ahead, but only because you know you've got them 2 reds to move. Generally, in a normal break, you're only really thinking about
34.
the shot you're playing to get on the next ball, to leave an angle on the one after that, and that's as far ahead as you really think, because the game's too hard to try and think any further than that. You don't end up where you want to be most of the time, believe it or not. And it's always plan B coming into effect. That's a lovely little cannon he's played there.
41.
And the pockets have been playing a little bit more generous than what I think most of the players are used to on the star tables. It was mentioned, I think, yesterday,
42.
and these reds along the black cushion there, they're not as difficult as they may be normally, for whatever reason that is, but the Rasson tables don't seem to play as tight as the stars.
Well, we had Sean Murphy in your role on the first couple of days of the tournament, and he said that almost
49.
immediately. You're quite right, I think, across this top cushion, especially if you play a red or a black, sedately they'll go in. I do think, though, the middle pockets are quite brutal at times. Would you agree?
Possibly. They don't look it. I mean, I didn't actually have many shots to sort of test that theory out.
50.
But like there, that sort of went in with ease, and he's obviously hit it well. It hasn't exactly wobbled or anything, but yeah, the corners especially, I've definitely found them a little bit more generous. I actually played a rest shot down the side cushion yesterday in my last game. One that I would probably think twice about on a star table, but thought if I got anywhere near, it would go in.
57.
He's got a lovely cannon there.
Well, that is the shot of the morning so far for me.
$59.
24 in front. The break goes to 59, so the green is frame ball. This to equalise.
Yeah, I'll just be putting full concentration into the green. Won't even be thinking about trying to get position on the brown, really. Just concentrate on the green, and as you say, that'll be frame over. Not an easy shot, but one, if he concentrates on and hits it well, you'd expect Marco to get.
62.
He's still got it, Marco Fu. 44 years of age now. In a bygone era, that might have signified he was over the hill. But he's
66.
actually 2 years younger than the world champion and world #1, so he can't say that anymore.
Yeah, how the perception of the game's changed.
71.
A classy application.
Because he's moved that red, he's actually left this as a shot to nothing now for the path of the cue ball. Great shot.
What?
Yeah, harsh on Fu, considering what he did
He's
before.
potted a great red. You just got to hold your hands up and say a good shot. Just floats the brown in like it's over the pocket. It looks very comfortable today, Thepchaiya.
Five. Six.
Didn't catch that one the way you would have wanted, though he's maybe caught it a touch thin or not got enough screw in. Slightly over kyren, but if he gets anywhere near with the first red, they should go in. And the cannon on the pink's lovely to land on the black, so another decent chance. Just a touch awkward with the two reds to the left of the black. Would have liked the angle on one of these reds to go the other side, to pop the black into this left corner, but he's going to need to wait to get a better chance to try and get on that black and manoeuvre them reds so he can get them out of the way. Didn't want the cannon on the brown though. He'll be disappointed with that shot.
40.
Still got a chance at this red, and as I said, if he can get on the black to the left corner, that's what he's after. To hopefully just play a little cannon on the red to the left of it and open up the black.
$50.
Lovely shot again. Just a little further than he would have liked for that shot, but a very good pot and still in position. In fact, it actually goes past the black to the right corner, so that's a bonus. You can just stun onto the red next to it now, and that's the black opened and a good chance.
23.
Played a shot there off the previous black that you guys on the Pro Tour make look easy and everyone else knows isn't. That float around with running side.
30.
And when you're using side, Gary, I made this point actually when we were watching you yesterday. You seem extremely confident. It is a real art form.
Yeah, and again, touching what I was saying before, even about the pool as well, the grippiness and the slickness of the cloths. It helps when you know what they're doing and you're playing well, but at the same time, it's getting used to
38.
that. Marco's probably struggled with that a little bit in this game so far, but once you know what's going on and you've got a feel for the conditions properly, yeah, most pro players would be really comfortable playing with side. It can make you look silly just when you don't really know what's happening.
46. 47.
When you think his career was, and I'm not exaggerating, hanging in the balance before the World Championship, but then he won 3 qualifying matches to make it to the Crucible.
55.
Losing 10-7 in the end in the first round of the World Championship to John Higgins. You see him play like this and you think, how on earth could he possibly have come close to losing his tour card? The blue puts him 70 ahead with 67 on.
60. Thepchaiya un-nooh. 60.
Mark will carry on, but one snooker needed, and obviously the red's not in very favourable positions, 4 of them tied up. So if he's going to win this frame, it's going to be a long slog, but he always knows there's a chance. Played a very bad shot there though. Looks to have left. Maybe not. I thought he'd left an edge of that red so he could just chip it in the middle, but a little bit careless that one. And that's opened a couple of up for Marco, so he can get a few reds and blacks, and he would love to get into a position where he can get these 2 open reds with blacks and the red on the black cushion, and at some stage try and have just 1 red left on the right there, and that, because it's next to the pink, be able to stun him behind the pink off the last red. See a long way to go before that, but again, as I was saying before, it's a situation where you are thinking quite a number of shots ahead because you're trying to get yourself into a position of where's best to lay the snooker from, and you'll already know that. You'll be trying to get rid of these reds and get himself into a position where the pink's a great ball to get behind.
When it comes to
60.
successfully getting snookers, Marco Fu was involved in one of the most remarkable frames I think I've ever commentated on. It was against
70.
Ryan Day, as he has a good kiss there on the black. It was against Ryan Day in the semi-final of the World Grand Prix at Preston Guildhall. Ryan Day won the frame after needing 4 snookers against Marco. 4.
Yeah, and that's not a bad little
24.
cannon. As I say, if you can get rid of this extra red. You see, there's
25.
what I was talking about before. Hit the near knuckle there, and you wouldn't have expected that to go in necessarily. But they are playing a little bit more generous than what a lot of the players have expected. But like I was saying, that red near the pink there now, this is the situation you would have been wanting to get in right from the start. Land him behind this red with a good angle so he can just stun him behind the pink. Oh, what's he done here though? Don't tell us he's left the cue ball, so the black spots. No.
32.
The way he's left himself, he'll probably just roll him behind the pink now. And that's
Marco
trouble.
for 32.
So yeah, he would have seen that from shot 1. Luckily got himself into the right position, and it just shows how quickly he can turn around, because if he misses this, Marco's in with a great chance to steal the frame.
Foul.
He has, and
Marco
he's brought
for
the
4.
green off the side. He's put it on the baulk cushion, which is his only saving grace on that shot really. He's put the green safe for Marco, so it's not as easy a clearance.
Yes, and of course, the referee wasn't empowered to call a miss there because a snooker was required. Flew perfectly on the black ball.
Yeah, and just for getting out with that snooker, Thepchaiya, the way he should have been thinking there.
8.
I'm sure he was. He's just misjudged it badly, but it was to try and miss that. Not try and miss it, but if he was to miss it, try and leave the cue ball in a position where Marco wouldn't have had an easy shot at the red. Because he's misjudged it so badly, he's hit the green, he's left Marco a good chance. But this is the key shot, whether Marco decides to take it on, thinking that maybe the pockets are playing a little bit generous. I'm not too sure. They're always not as easy along the baulk cushion as they are the black cushion, with the nap running the other way. Not that there's much nap on these tables these days. But again, that just seemed relatively easy. It was a great shot. You're looking just to run the cue ball through here now, and personally I would just run it through a little bit so he's just got a plain ball angle on the blue, just to send the cue ball off the cushion
17.
and knock the pink out. May not quite have come far enough for the shot he's played. Might have to leave the double now.
No one's infallible with this shot, but I'll tell you what, over the course of his career, Fu has been a pretty dependable doubler.
Yeah, he's actually come too far there though. The angle's not quite there for the double anymore, so it looks like he's going to have to
Nice
take
in
his...
the fact that one good positional shot and he could be bang in.
One.
That's acceptable.
One of your kisses, that, Phil. Just had to let the cue ball run a little bit there though. It was a little bit thin on the black, so still needs a good positional shot if he's going to get back into perfect position. He'll be looking to either run this in. I don't think he's quite got the angle just to run it in and avoid the red on the cushion, so stun it round the two reds of the right hand side and back up for blue potentially. Just caught the red on the way through though. Not sure if the black still pots.
Well, if it does, it's the definition of a pressure shot. Ticklish.
He's played that lovely. He didn't even try and drop it in and trust the table in any way. He just trusted his technique, his cueing. Very good shot off the cushion, that.
60.
Now back in prime position, so looking like a decent opportunity this for Marco. We did say that good chance this could be a 2-all draw. If he makes the most of this, then that'll be the case.
And just to put into perspective how important it is for Fu to win this frame,
20.
if he's going to retain any table-topping ambitions. This is day 10 of the tournament, so we've had 18 completed groups now. No one has lost their first match and won a group.
22. Thank you.
Yeah, which is obviously shows why it's so important to get off to a good start. A draw is not the end of the world, but it goes without saying, you want to get a win in your first match. It just sets you up for the group. Kind of makes you think it's all in your own hands. Rob being ultra
29.
careful there, the referee, and putting the black on the spot, knowing that it could be quite tight to this red. A good referee in that, just to make sure the black's perfect on the spot. Just try to come on the pink, so he's a little bit high. I think he might not have come quite far enough for what he wanted there, which was to push through the reds and open them up a little bit around the pink spot, but it's not too bad. He's still got the red on the right hand side he can play on. Pink doesn't spot, so it goes up into the highest available, the green spot.
36.
Well, I must say, regardless of the outcome, it's really good to see Marco Fu back.
$37.
He's made over 500 centuries in professional competition, which is up there with the elite. Turned pro 24 years ago.
Yeah, he's a very heavy scorer, Marco. If you're not as much in the know with snooker, or the players, you might not think so, but all us players and commentary
44.
Commentary personnel like yourself and Dave, we all know how heavy a scorer he is, how good a player he is. Not the flashiest of players, of course, but
45.
very, very dangerous when he's in and around the black spot.
Holds the distinction of being the first player ever to make a 147 break in a match that was streamed online. It was at the old Regal Masters in Scotland. His prize was a
52.
car, and at the time he didn't drive.
Who did he give it to, Phil?
Just got the impression he might have sold it, actually.
You think? We don't get cars now, Phil, do we?
Well, of course, I remember when there was a car on offer for a 147 in the Grand Prix in the a tournament in your part of the world, up in Sunderland. And it was parked outside of the venue and got vandalised.
Yeah, that's Sunderland for you. Had to get that in.
60.
Well, this break might have been wrecked by that.
Yeah, just ran out of position a bit
60.
carelessly. Really, he was in a good position there to kill off the frame. So, although he's got a chance of a draw here, Marco, he'll be a bit disappointed at the way he's started his campaign. It's not been abysmal by any stretch, of course, but when you get chances like that, a player of Marco's class would be really expecting to make the most of them. So he'll just be working his way into the tournament anyway. He'll not be getting too disappointed about it. He'll hope he can nick a draw here and just up his performance a little bit for the next couple of games.
Seven reds left, so still 83 on the table.
And this is where Marco's experience can come into it. You don't get flustered by, not performing too well to start the season. It's all about getting through at the end of the day and building on that.
Black and one more red.
Eight. Marco Fu, 8.
Off-frame ball missed. The good stuff for Fu. Those reds cluster together even more. And no easy opener. Well, no opener.
Yeah, if you do miss like that, it's always nice to see you sort of mess the table up a little bit and not leave your opponent a chance. The way they're positioned, it's going to be very hard for Thepchaiya to win the frame.
I'll tell you who's liking this backstage, Jimmy Robertson. This result falls right into his lap.
Yeah, Jimmy being the seed, obviously, as you say, played first. You get a chance at the end of the day to see what the situation is going into your last game. And because he's won his game, you'd have been hoping for nothing more than these two top players to obviously draw. It means that it puts Jimmy in a much better position straight away. That could be that. Left the red on for Marco. Little cutback, but not too tricky really. Should pop this.
One.
And if this red goes in, there is definitely no way back.
3.
Yeah, I think Thepchaiya will be a touch disappointed the way he started the game, flying. I wouldn't say it looked like he was going to run away with it, of course, but it looked like he was in stroke and he was playing quite well, so he'll be a bit disappointed to only come out of this 2s each.
Cheers.
On the other hand, Marco won't be too impressed with the way he's played himself. But again, just getting back into the flow of things this season. Starting with a 2-all draw, he'll just try and build on that, so not too bad from his perspective.
Yeah, after an enforced break from the professional.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now.